What's up, y'all? My name is Travis Handler. We're here with another segment of On the Way Up, Doane Leadership Educators interview series. I'm here with Will Grixby. Will is a basketball player at Doane. He's also an exec for Doane Black Student Alliance, amongst myriad other things that I'll let him talk about. So, what's up, Will?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, bro. Good to have you. So, kind of easing into it, can I kind of get your just a background on your life story, kind of how you ended up at Doane?
Yeah, I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. Went to Omaha Bryan High School. Yeah, grew up, born and raised in Omaha. It was a good time. Like Omaha is fun. It made me who I am today.
Yeah.
And yeah, I came to Doane to really to play basketball, but I mean other reasons too, but really to play basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you got to Doane, what'd you decide to study? I kind of see it in the background there, but
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean I came into Doane undecided. Well, yeah, about undecided, and then I got into engineering just because a couple of my friends told me about it or they were doing it, and I liked math. I got Calc 3. Calculus is kind of tough right now, but yeah, I liked math. Science was cool, and that's just what I chose to stick with.
yeah, that's awesome. And more power to you, bro, because that is not English up there behind you at all. That makes about no sense to me. um, and so now talk to me a little bit about you're an exec for Dome Black Student Alliance. And so I guess a good place to start there, because I kind of want to focus on that for this interview series, is can you kind of give an overview of what BSA is? What y'all seek to do on campus?
Yeah, actually, let me read the mission statement.
Pull it up, yeah.
Uh, Our mission statement is to build a vibrant community that creates opportunities for everyone to celebrate Black, African American culture, address inequalities, and create lifelong connections. And so that's really, really, we just want to give a safe space for people, anybody to come in and talk, share moments, and just have a safe space and to have a little fun. We have fun, but we also got to address stuff too. So we also
Yeah.
got community service things, and that's just what our group is looking at this school year.
Absolutely. And talk to me a little bit why it's important to create a safe space for everybody especially on a campus like Doan's.
Um, I think it's just important because everyone should feel safe.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should be having to walk around just not feeling themselves or having to change themselves or do other things to feel accepted or wanted at a school. So I think that's just the most important, to create a fun and happy space. For it to be fun and happy, you got to be able to feel accepted at your school.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And can you talk to me a little bit about what inspired you to get involved with the group in the first place? How did that kind of come about?
Um, my freshman year, I was I wasn't too involved the first semester. I think nothing really happened until the second semester. And then Brandon B. Mads, if you know him, he hit me up, just told me to come through to one of the first meetings they had. And then I came through and it was just like a meet and greet, but then it got cut short because of COVID. So we didn't really do much. And then sophomore year, it also was kind of cut short. We couldn't
Yeah.
meet as much just because the COVID rules and all that. So we had a couple of things. We did have a few things my sophomore year, and then this year, B Mads left and Malone left, so it was kind of just me and Michaela, and then Majesty came in. So really, I just got left because everybody else left, so I just stepped in really, but it was nice to step in.
Yeah. And so you're kind of in a way sort of not restarting but kind of revamping y'all's vision for it. And so can you talk to me a little bit about what aspects of that have been kind of challenging with revamping, like getting stuff organized, stuff like that?
Oh yeah, we did we really started from nothing. We didn't have any no we redid our constitution,
Yeah.
our mission statement and everything. We kind of just had to start from scratch and making a club. It was harder than you think. We had to find the space to meet, allocate the money through Stuco. I'm meeting with Miss Marilyn.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, we love her. we love Miss Marilyn. So yeah, we just had to especially when we got a lot of other stuff like to do around the school and like with basketball and like school, we just had to really lock in and just get some stuff ready to go, get it
Yeah,
started.
yeah. Make time for it. And one of the things I noticed, and you kind of talked about it earlier, was the first meeting that I went to the other day, the meet and greet, was kind of a combination between like having some fun and engaging socially, but also kind of getting into the mission statement of what y'all seek to do. So why is it? I thought it was really interesting that y'all did it like that. Why is it important that you're balancing fun, right, and enjoying your time with it, but that there's also a service component to it? Why do you think that that's important to kind of getting the most out of members?
Um, because at the end of the day, like everybody wants to have fun. Like,
Yeah,
of course, I want to have fun, but like, we're there for a reason, though. Like,
yeah,
if we were just having fun, like, we could just go out on the weekends and do stuff like that. So like, it's hard, but you just have to balance it and make sure
yeah.
you're there for the right reasons and like come together and address what needs to be addressed and talk about what needs to be talked about.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's fantastic. And pivoting a little bit to your personal leadership aspects of it, what you kind of touched on it before, so it might be a little redundant, but what sort of leadership like roles or responsibilities does your particular, especially, revamping the group, what does that require of you as an exec? What sort of leadership responsibilities?
Um, really just first, one of my big leadership responsibilities is getting like people there. So
Yeah.
like just being an open personality and just talking to people and like
Yeah.
just going around spreading the word. Like the couple days before the meeting, I was just on my phone every day, just texting, "Oh, what you doing? I know you ain't doing nothing at 8 tomorrow. Come through."
Yeah.
But yeah, you just have to have an open personality and and still be able to like have all my friends there,
Yeah.
but still be able to get the job done. If you feel what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like when it was time to like listen up and stuff, it was kind of hard. So you just got to be a leader, and which it wasn't too hard because all my friends were cool about it. But that's just probably the biggest thing.
It seemed like a lot to balance, bro. And the time I was there, you were, dapping everybody up who came in, talking to everybody. And that's tough. That's what, I don't think a lot of people realize is how important it is to be able to communicate like that. And so I wanted to talk too about why is it important for leaders on Doane's campus to be interested in creating a safe space for everybody?
Say that again for me. One time.
Yeah, why is it important for leaders on Doane's campus to kind of set the example and create safe spaces for people?
Um, I mean, like, cause at the end of the day, like the leaders, like they're the people who people look up to. Like, so if I'm a leader and I'm not doing the right thing, talking bad about people, saying this about people, or like just not accepting people are doing this and that, then they're gonna do the same thing you are. Like, so if you're setting the right example, you're spreading love, being nice, then the whole world comes together. Like the whole school comes together for real. So
Yeah.
for that.
And one of the things I wanted to ask you about earlier, this is kind of, I should have touched on this at the beginning. BSA is open to everybody, right?
Oh yeah, everybody's welcome. Everybody could come in and talk and listen or
Yeah.
any.
And so talk to me a little bit. And again, this is kind of similar to the last question. So if your answer is the same, that's fine. But why is it important for leaders to want to focus on equity and inclusion to make sure that everybody that they communicate with is being heard?
Um, really with the equity and inclusivity, I think I really look at that as like being equal to everybody, and that's what I look at as being a leader because I couldn't get behind anybody leading me if they don't like treat people equal. So
Yeah.
like, how can I say you're a leader? You're treating this person better than the next person. So I feel like just starting there can make everybody a better leader. You
Yeah.
feel?
And do you feel like that's leaders' responsibility on Doane's campus, especially where it's a smaller school, that it's really important that we're taking the chances to empower everybody? That's kind of part of what BSA is, right?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta support everybody. I try to support everybody just because like you can't come around here and like support this group and not support that group and like and have them like turn around and try to have them support me if I'm not supporting them. So I try
Yeah.
to spread around and get to even groups I'm not a part of or like have no business around. Like I'll go around and talk to them and especially at the beige desk. I always like answer the questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel. So I think that's important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As someone who's worked the beige desk, I appreciate that. One of the other things I wanted to ask about, so BSA's Instagram, there was a segment where y'all focused on historic Black figures, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about why is it important to recognize, especially historical Black figures, with y'all's page.
Um, just because like, I mean, our mission statement is really like it's talking about like the history of Black culture and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And if that's what we're spreading around, like that segment was really fun. Like we're telling people stuff that they don't really know, or like some stuff that I didn't even know. Like when Austin posted a couple things, like I think her name was Madam C.J. Walker, I
yeah,
believe. She was like the first African American woman millionaire, and like that's crazy. And she got it from like hair products, selling hair products. She had her own business, and like hair is a big part of our culture. So like just seeing a lot of stuff people don't know about the Black culture is just like eye opening and stuff.
yeah,
So if we're spreading around history, that's a good ways on Instagram.
yeah, absolutely. And why is it? Do you think that especially because I'll tell you honestly, the two or three posts I saw, I had not heard of any of those people. And I'm somebody who studied history for, a number of years in school and college. So, why is it that I and other students like me have not been exposed to that history before?
Um, that's a good question. Like, I don't really have the answer. I guess like some stuff is just not talked about. Like, and that's what we focused on really. Like, because we could have just came out there and put it on Instagram, like MLK and like
Yeah,
Malcolm X, like stuff people already heard about.
yeah,
But like that's what you hear about, and that's why we
yeah,
didn't. So like some stuff just isn't talked about, and it should be. And
yeah,
I don't really have the answer to that, but it should be.
yeah. No, I think there's a really good through line there between what y'all seek to do in terms of empowering people and also understanding why it's important to, to recognize that history. And so, you talked earlier about what I really love that you focused on was creating a safe space for everybody. And I wanted to know what leaders on Doane's campus can do to make everybody feel safe and comfortable in their spaces.
Um, I don't know. I guess like don't be like insensitive to the struggle.
Yeah,
Like you never know what somebody else is going through. Like you never know what we're going through or the next man. Like they could have had a bad night, they could have had a bad childhood. And
yeah,
that goes to anybody, not just African American students, but like everybody. So like just be just be cautious and not cautious, just be nice to people and open and learning and stuff. Like Cape, we just had a Cape project meeting the other day, and they talked about like privilege and stuff, which is crazy because a lot of people hear privilege and just automatically think like, oh, I'm being like profiled for maybe
yeah,
being white and stuff like that. But like he said, I think 34 states you could get fired for being gay or being transgender. Like that's something I don't have to worry about because I'm not a part of that group.
yeah,
But like, so I'm privileged. You feel me? Like
yeah,
privilege is everywhere.
yeah.
So just be open to that. That was really nice. I like that meeting for sure.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, and we were actually. It's funny you mentioned that because we were just practicing that presentation a week or two ago. That was the one where you have the identity group markers, right? Yeah, and it was really interesting how, for me, as somebody who, I'm a white cisgender, heteronormative, so I'm in all of like those privileged groups. It was a lot harder for me to find parts of my identity that I identified with, race, gender, sexual orientation, because for me, it's something I never, I have to be conscious of all the time. And so it's really cool that you were able to kind of get that lesson from it, because, um, and so I guess, to follow up a little bit about the privilege aspect. Well, I think you touched on it there. I'll go back because I want to think about how to word it, but I want to ask first about what do y'all have planned, for this semester and the next semester for BSA? What do y'all got, kind of in the works?
We're trying to get another meeting before Thanksgiving. It might be a little packed in time,
Yeah,
but trying to get like a Thanksgiving feast dinner, which would be fun. which
Yeah.
would be another like fun event. We're focusing more on Black History Month in February coming up and
Yeah.
doing some get together stuff outside of like the fun stuff. But like nothing set in stone yet. But we
Okay.
got big plans for the school year.
Yeah. I know
And
y'all do. And oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
a lot of people are just hitting me and stuff like hitting me, all the other exec members asking what's next, and I just tell them just wait on it. We got something coming up.
Got stuff in the works. I'm excited. And so I kind of figured out going back. I figured out how I wanted to word the last question as it relates to privilege. So why is it you talked a little bit then just then about how you have some privilege from the standpoint that you are you're heteronormative, you're heterosexual, so your sexuality that you identify with is part of the dominant culture, so to speak. So why is it important for you as a leader and for all leaders to be able to check and recognize their individual privileges?
Um, Say that again. I'm sorry.
You're good. Why is it important to be able for you and for all leaders to be able to recognize where they have privileges that other people might not?
Um, I think because you just got to notice like that you're privileged in that spot, like,
Yeah.
and the same thing as being like insensitive to the struggle,
Yeah.
like somebody might be struggling that you don't really understand, like, and you can't like understand because you never had to really go through it, so
Yeah.
you can't just. That's why like they talked about being an ally too. You can't sit here and just like downplay what they're going through just
Yeah.
because you went through it. Like, cause I done went through some stuff that you probably never had to go through.
Yeah.
You probably went through the same stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you just got to be open to listening and learning, just because that's just how it is.
And would you say, I'm gonna go back in history a little bit. I think y'all had a protest in September of 2020. If you could think back a year ago, now it feels like forever ago. Um, would you say then that the goal of y'all doing it on Doane's campus and being central like that was to bring attention to maybe some things that again, because in that instance it was in regards to police brutality. Was the goal then of those protests to bring attention to stuff that maybe I as a privileged white man would not have been as affected by immediately before?
Um, say it again one time.
Yeah, no, I worded that terribly. So talking about the protests from 2020, can you I guess just go back and talk a little bit about the motivation. So why did y'all organize it in that way? What was the goal in doing that protest?
Um, just to just to raise awareness. Like,
Yeah,
some people like they see it on Instagram and like see it on like the news, but they don't know like who's really affected by it or like what's really happening. So like we try to give everybody a chance to know like we go through that too. Like it could be me or it could be the next man. So we just trying to raise awareness and like give other people the opportunity to like protest too. And like the same reason why like anybody's able to come to BSA is because like it's open for anybody. And I remember like being in the protest in Omaha, you turn around and you see just as many white people, a lot of white people, a lot of other races, a lot of people in the LGBTQ community was like there, like sitting right next to me, protesting with me. So that's like at the same time, I try to support everybody because they support me. So I can't.
yeah,
If they support me, I gotta support them. Is what I'm trying
yeah.
to say.
No, absolutely. And not to dig too much into this, and you don't have to speak to it if you don't want to, but can you talk a little bit about the kind of the emotions that you associated with that summer going through, when we had um, George Floyd's passing, and then there was a kind of a spur of them after that, Jacob Blake. Can you talk a little bit, if you don't mind, just about how you were kind of feeling in those moments?
Man, that summer was really crazy. And I went to a lot of stuff in Omaha, and it was just like you see a lot of people there for the wrong reasons sometimes, like just going around like just wanting to be there. But
Yeah,
then you see, like some people that's like tears in their eyes and stuff, like
yeah,
because it's sad. Like nothing like that should be happening. Like we shouldn't have to be at no protest because innocent black men are being killed like that or
yeah,
black women. So like it was just a crazy 2 months, and it was like during COVID. So like for people to still come out and be like how many people was in Omaha just walking the streets protesting. It was like insane. Like, but it shouldn't have to be like that. So it was just high emotions. high like tension, like yeah, just seeing it was just crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. Like it was a crazy experience.
No, I can't even fathom, and I really appreciate you being open about sharing that because again, even though I could experience them from the standpoint that I can even if I'm a part of that protest, that it's not a pain that I can completely sympathize with because I've never had to have that same fear, and that kind of goes back to that's what I was trying to touch on with the privilege. I was just wording it terribly, but so cool. And so transitioning to a wrap up here, do you have any personal goals for the end of this year going into next year, or it's just making it through the semester right now?
With BSA or like for
Just
myself?
in BSA, but also in general, just with you.
Um, I wanna, of course, I want to make it more known on the campus, and like
Yeah,
I really want like every like especially African American student, like if they don't know about it, I definitely want them to know about it. Like
yeah,
just because I want everybody to feel safe and welcomed, and everybody everybody is welcome, but like I really want all the Black students
sure.
to know that we got a group on campus.
Yeah,
That's where my agenda is, just to get more known on campus and to get more recognition, I guess.
yeah. So then, as somebody who's looking to support and empower the group, is the best thing for me to do right now is just to keep sharing the stuff, inviting people out.
Yeah, and keep coming. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate seeing you there the other day.
Sir,
I was nice to see you.
of course. Well, hey, I don't have anything else for you. If there's anything else you want to touch on, feel free. If not, I really appreciate you taking the time and opening up about some stuff that I'm sure it was not easy to talk about. I really appreciate it. Well,
Right. Nah, I'm good. Appreciate you. I appreciate you too, for real, for always being there for us and all the stuff that you do around the campus. For
all
sure.
right. Have a good day, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.